Louise Richards, who is Executive Director of Motionhouse. Louise.
Hi there, thanks a lot for having me. I'm going to be speaking on behalf of small to mid-scale touring performance companies. The vibrant cultural ecology of the UK spans all scales, all art forms, and I believe fundamentally depends on our ability to tour. I run a very successful company called Motionhouse, a touring dance circus company which I co-founded in 1988. We tour dance circus productions across the UK and also across the globe. Unusually for our sector, we employ our team, including all our performers year round, such is the scale of our touring work in normal times. On average, 50% of our annual touring income comes from taking our work to the EU. And I think our situation can be replicated across many dance, theatre and circus organisations. In the 2 years before the pandemic, we toured 7 shows to 33 theatres and festivals in the EU, performing 125 times in 13 EU countries, generating around £300,000 in income. Prior to Brexit, taking a booking for our work to Europe was no more complicated than taking a booking in the UK. We were able to travel, transport our sets, work, and perform in any of the member states with no restrictions. Now, as already commented on, we face a series of problems and barriers to that really important market in moving our people, our sets and our equipment. We'll be limited to the overall amount of time each performer or crew member individually can travel both within the EU as a whole and within each individual country. We have to navigate the different requirements of every member state, which all apply different approaches for non-EU workers generating earned income within their countries, setting their own rules regarding visa waivers, work permits and maximum working days allowed. In addition to those in-country limitations, we must also monitor how much time every individual company member spends in the Schengen area, and this is going to include their holidays. This is because UK nationals now only have the right to be within the Schengen area for a maximum of 90 days out of 180, whether that's working or holidays in any of the countries, which could put us in the position of having to refuse work. For example, in 2019, we were only the equivalent of 1 booking off our team reaching that limit. Large amounts of admin and cost are going to be needed for every potential booking as we work out if we can respond to demand across the EU and stay within the permitted working allowances of each country, whether that's being allowed for up to 6 weeks in 13 in the Netherlands, but that's only for 1 visit, so a 2-day booking still means no return in 13 weeks, 14 days in Norway, or no waiver at all and work permit required in many of the other countries. Currently, there is little clarity on many of the EU's country-specific requirements, and we're finding conflicting information and advice, and even finding that country embassies themselves are unable to give us clear information. Touring to the UK is going to become a major administrative and logistical burden, adding significant costs to operations, and with the danger that those additional costs are going to price UK artists across all art forms out of the market. This removes our ability to be agile and responsive to our venue, festival and promoter partners in the EU. It will mean that last-minute bookings will be impossible to respond to due to lead-in time for entry documentation. It's going to create extra pressure for us as a touring company, as we won't be able to quickly replace performers in the case of injury or illness. In addition, as mentioned, we'll need to produce carnets to move our equipment out and back into the UK, and the cost of carnets reduce our bottom line and push up our prices. For all our productions, we transport sets and equipment, those carnet goods, and cabotage, as mentioned, will rule out longer tours, making it impossible for a vehicle registered in the UK to move to more than 3 points in 7 days within an EU country. So, for example, for us, a typical 2-week tour to 3 cities will not work. All of this comes at a cost in staff time, transport and accommodation costs, in people time to account for delays, for the expense of carnets, permits and visas. Using bookings that we're currently in discussion for, which account for 56 performances at 20 venues in 11 countries over the next year, on current assumptions, we're potentially looking at 40,000 plus in costs for visas, work permits.
Louise, I'm going to have to move you along because we'll never get anybody in. I know what is coming across is how passionate and how complex this issue is. Thank you very much, Louise.